God's damn talking bird. Magical aberration. If I get my hands on a filthy feathered thing, I'll twist its scrawny little... language. What can I do for you, young madam?
Let's play this nice and cool, Zoe. About that talking bird that's bothering you.
Yes? What about it?
I just saw it.
Where?
Oh, this is it. Okay.
Go look for that goddamn bird over there.
Jeez. Well, no wonder I couldn't figure it out. It involves talking to the extremely unpleasant man again. Now we
Are you doing this just to annoy me? Because it's working.
No, I actually have an idea this time, Crow. That worked.
Soft-headed fool. We'll need to carry him home to have someone look at his head. The tree can wait until tomorrow. You do the carrying. I'd do it myself, but someone needs to lead the way and keep an eye out for potholes.
Finally.
That was brilliant! First, I did my thing, and then that goofball tried to hit me with a rock, and then stuff happened, and Dung for Brains got knocked out, and then they all left. End scene. It was almost like one of those puppet shows that Wizard puts on in the square. It was hilarious!
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
That's the most fun I've had since... I don't know. I guess since I hung out with April all those years ago.
Aw. Alright, finally we can get in here.
Locked, but I have the key.
In we go.
This place looks a lot bigger on the inside. It is a lot bigger on the inside. Okay, this is freaky. I feel dizzy. There must be magic here because this makes no sense. Things can't be bigger on the inside than on the outside. Then again, why should I be surprised? I've seen weirder things. Weird is my new normal.
Obnaxis must have been a big believer in crystals. Or maybe this is how people light their houses. Maybe this is totally normal for Arcadia. This place has the slightly tacky ambience of a New Age shop. Obnaxis must have been a big believer in crystals. Or maybe this is how people light their houses. Maybe this is totally normal for Arcadia.
More crystals and books.
Those are some portentous-looking books. I wish I could read them.
Obnaxis was a very well-read man, thing. There are enough musty old books here to fill a university library's special collection of musty old books. It's a map of the Northlands, and the border mountains are right at the top, but no purple mountains. Lots of other mountains, though. Without a reference to the purple mountains, this map won't help me much. Without a reference to the purple mountains, that map won't help me.
Oh, so you can't take it? Looks really pretty. Zoom in on it a little bit. It's probably the best looking map of Arcadia that we have seen so far. At least that I've seen. That book looks pretty special, so we'll hold off on that till the end here. Just in case there's something else around here besides books and crystals. Oh, pretty.
Since this place is so much bigger on the inside than the outside, I thought maybe it existed in a pocket dimension of sorts. But I can still see Mercuria out there, so... What if this window is also a portal, and right now, I'm looking across dimensions, or across space and time, or... God, no, just a window. I'm sure it's just a normal window. Obnaxis must have made the bed before leaving for good. That's kind of sad and eerie. Obnaxis must have made the bed before leaving for good.
Someone's been sleeping in my bed, said Papa Bear, before mauling Goldilocks and devouring her whole. Don't ever mess with fairy tale creatures.
More crystals, more books.
Those are some portentous-looking books. I wish I could read them.
Ah, and above everything is a huge symbol of the balance. Makes sense. Well, I guess there's nothing else but to look at this rather circular book.
Oh, that's interesting.
Someone...
Who's... Oh, God.
I must apologize, ma'am. I didn't mean to frighten you. Zoe Castillo. You're the last person I expected to find here.
I remember him from my last visit to Mercuria.
Brian, right?
Right. Brian. Brian Westhouse. We spent a few days in cramped quarters on a small airship. I'd be surprised if you didn't remember me.
It's been a confusing year. For a while, I remembered nothing. Even when I tried my best to remember, I couldn't. Well, not until now.
I know that feeling all too well, Miss Castillo. So you're back in Mercuria, and in this place of all places. How in the name of the balance did you get inside? People have been trying for years, but this house has strong wards. Venar magic, the oldest there is. And now I understand why. It's a treasure trove. Wait, is that the Annals of Dreaming? Good God, that's a lost treasure. Only 5 were ever made.
Why be secretive about it? I'm sure I can trust him. I'm not sure I want to tell this man absolutely everything yet.
I know my way around wards.
So I see. Your talents run deeper than I remember, Miss Castillo. I'm impressed. Pardon my curiosity, but what are you looking for here? Abnaxis himself vanished a decade ago.
I should trust Brian. There's no point hiding anything from him. It's not that I don't trust him, but...
Well, to be fair, he suddenly just shows up as soon as we're able to crack the door. I mean, was he just waiting around for someone to be able to access Abnaxis' abode? This is rather curious.
I was just curious about what was in here.
You know what they say about curiosity, Miss Castillo?
It killed the cat?
What? No. Curiosity is the doorway to knowledge and wisdom. Looks like I picked the perfect day for a stroll in the green. I was wondering why that odorous Hilarious fellow wasn't still trying to chop this tree down. Now I know. Let's see if we find anything interesting, shall we?
Mr. Westhouse, Brian. He seems very enthusiastic and friendly. Probably. I have a hard time reading him, to be honest.
Have you found anything of interest? Keep looking. This place is a treasure trove.
Looks like a handwritten note.
Interesting.
It's another one of Abnaxis' notes.
I recognize that. I think there's a famous coded book that uses some very interesting letters that I think look kind of like this, that no one has been able to translate in our real world.
Westhouse might be able to decipher that note.
Any other notes around here? Oh, there's one.
This is fascinating.
Notes. Notes everywhere.
Anything up here?
All those years, and it was right here under my nose.
Well, Brian certainly seems interested in what he's reading. No new notes here, it seems.
What does this mean?
Am I missing a note
I
somewhere?
was right. Obnoxus left so much behind. There's a wealth of information here.
Can we grab the map now, maybe?
Without a reference to the Purple Mountains, that map won't help me.
I was wrong about that part. But at least now I know.
Obnaxus must have made the bed before leaving for good. That's kind of sad and eerie.
No, I don't see any additional notes here. Do I have to combine them? Nope, doesn't look like it.
Looks like a handwritten note.
I see. I'll make a note of that.
No, just crystals.
Interesting.
Obnaxus was a very well-read man, thing.
This place has the slightly tacky ambience of a New Age shop.
I bet I'm missing at least just one more note. Where is it?
I don't know where to go next. I should stay here and look for more clues.
That's what I'm trying to do. You would think there's at least one of them up here. But I don't see anything.
It's another one of Obnaxus's notes.
All those years, and it was right here under my nose.
Westhouse might be able to decipher that note.
Oh, maybe we just have to show the notes to him or something?
What do you think this means?
I'm not sure there's much to learn from that one.
What do you think this means?
I'm not sure there's much to learn from that one.
This looks interesting.
The first dreamer references in the annals of dreaming. That's this book right here. And the chapter about the first dream, it's certainly a starting point. Let's see what it says.
Can you read that book?
I've lived in Arcadia for decades, and there hasn't been much to do aside from studying ancient texts, so yes, I can read this book. Let's see, the chapter in question speaks of the Ular. They are said to be wardens of the Dreaming One, whatever that means. It's a rough translation. The English language isn't quite up to the task. The Ular and the Yete, one people that split into two. That sounds familiar. It says here the Yete left the Purple Mountains to go south to burrow into the ground. Something about a well of dreams. I mean, I don't know how much of this is true and how much is fantasy or prophecy. It's a difficult book to decipher. There's also something about two dreamers becoming one. It's vague. This is almost certainly a prophecy of some sort. The Ular live on Cloud Peak. It's in the mountains of Yedra. Where's that on the map? Ah, there it is. Straight north across the plains, right in the middle of the border mountains. This is an old book, so I don't know if they still live there. I've never heard of the Ular. They might all be dead.
That note fell out of the annals when Westhouse turned the pages. That note fell out of the annals when Westhouse turned the pages.
Oh, let's have a look.
Notes. Notes everywhere.
Ah, I knew it! I knew it!
Can we go now?
I don't know if I'm done here yet. I'm pretty sure I'm not.
Oh. Oh, maybe we need to show this page to Brian as well.
This note fell out from the pages of the annals. What's a soulless stone?
I'm not sure. The soul stone was taken from Luke's by the warlock Clax. It must be retrieved, or the past, present, and future will cease to be.
That sounds ominous.
It does indeed. I don't know about any soul stone, but I'm guessing this Clax fellow does. I wonder if Abnaxus means old Roper Clax. April told me his story. He was a 2-bit wizard who resided in a floating castle up north near the border mountains. April said she taught him a lesson. She didn't get into any details, but he lost his castle. Last I heard, he's doing children's theater here in town. Reformed, apparently, if that's a thing a wizard is capable of. Sounds like this soul stone is important.
Old Roper Clax. Last time we saw him as the player, he was peddling, baked goods, I think, down in Old Town. But we haven't seen him since.
I don't know where to go next. I should stay here and look for more clues.
Oh, can we take the map now?
I'm sure Abnaxus won't mind me borrowing this. I'll return it to him in person, if I make it to Cloud Peak.
And assuming Abnaxus is still there.
Let's see. There. Cloud Peak, just like the book said. This is it. This shows the way to the Purple Mountains.
Oh, okay. So can we take off now? Oh yeah. Head back into town and find Roper Clax. Okay.
I should get going. Should we...
Would you mind terribly if I stayed here to read these books?
Well, it's private property, isn't it?
Abnaxus isn't coming back, and I've been itching for a chance to peruse his library for years now. I promise I won't remove anything or make a mess.
It doesn't look like Brian's going to do any damage to the place. He's respectful and curious. It couldn't hurt to let him stay. He might have the best of intentions, but I made a promise to Blind Bob. I'd feel awful if anything happened to Abnaxus's abode.
Well, it's like most people refuse. To be fair, I mean, if Brian wants to come back, he certainly can. He just needs to ask Bob for permission, I guess.
I'm sorry, I don't think I can let you stay in here.
I'm not sure I need your permission.
I...
Only joking. I understand. I'll take my leave now, Miss Castillo. I certainly hope we'll see each other again soon.
Well, that was ominous. It's too bad we can't take that book with us.
Didn't you say something about a wizard and a puppet show?
Nope.
No, you did. You said something about a show in the square.
I did not.
Crow.
Oh, right! Roper Clax's Fingerlings! Man, that show's great. A modern classic.
Clax. He's the wizard April Ryan fought.
That's right. He was behaving badly, so she fought him and trapped him inside some sort of calculating machine. Pretty clever stuff.
Where can I find this puppet show?
I'll show you.
Let's see where Crow's going.
I feel better having Crow around, even though I'm not sure what he can do. Still, a useless sidekick is better than no sidekick. I'm not saying he's useless. It's connected to the pipes. Looks steampunky, very retro future. I can't even begin to guess what they're for.
Here it is. And there's Roper Clax himself.
Roper Clax, I presume. He looks wizardly, as in how I expected wizards to look when I was 10. I should probably go talk to Mr. Clax before his next show begins.
If you seek an autograph, you must purchase my book first. It's on sale today, only...
No, sorry. I need to talk to you.
Talk, hmm? Well, I only have a few minutes before my show begins, but I'm sure I can spare a couple of them for a pretty young thing like you.
It's an odd name for a children's puppet show. The Fingerlings.
Ah, my beloved finger puppets, beloved by all children and critics alike. Gilbert Grutton of the Daily Mercurian called my show simply astonishing and wrote that it was quite impossible to look away. I couldn't believe my eyes and like a slow-motion cart wreck. You see, the Fingerlings represent a revolution in finger puppeteering, or as I call it, fingering, trademark and patent pending. The women in particular are quite ecstatic about it. Stay for the show. I guarantee a good time.
Oh boy. Someone in the writing staff is getting a little childish here.
This has to be the right man. Didn't he and April have some sort of confrontation? You are Roper Clax, right? The wizard?
Who told you that?
Well, that sign, for one.
No, the wizard part. Who told you? I mean, I'm merely a humble finger puppeteer trying to make an honest living in a cold and heartless world.
But you were a wizard once.
Fully rehabilitated, I don't go anywhere near sorcery, not anymore. You should really read my highly acclaimed and best-selling memoir, A Farewell to My Wizarding Ways. It's a thrilling story of redemption and romance, of dashing heroes and wicked villainesses, of flying castles and curious calculating devices. Every word of it as true as the night is dark and the day is bright, of course.
Didn't he and April have some sort of confrontation? Do you remember April Ryan?
April Ryan? Oh, yes, of course, absolutely, certainly, naturally. The brave young woman who came to my castle and stole it, and helped me put my sorceress past behind me. How could I possibly forget?
Oof. Once again, somewhat ominous.
He's obviously got some issues with April. I'd be curious to learn more. So, about April.
Why does everyone want to talk about April Ryan? She was just a weak little human who stumbled onto things she didn't... No, I must apologize. You see, April and I had some disagreements in the past. I'm past that now. I'm a different person. As for April Ryan, I hear she suffered an ignoble death at the hands of our Azadi benefactors. What a shame. What a terrible, terrible shame.
I might as well get right to it, seeing as his show is about to begin. Do you recall owning a soul stone?
A soul stone? I don't know what you're talking about.
I was just wondering, since there are so many impressive tales about your powers where I come from.
And where would that be? That was a long time ago. In another life. I've moved on. I'm a different person now in every way.
I was just wondering what happened to the stone.
She took it, that bitch. Balance? Pardon me? I don't know where that came from.
Who?
Yaga, the wicked witch of the north, as these simpletons call her. As if they have any idea who and what she truly is. She lurks in Riverwood in the dark places. She feeds on that stone like a... Like I said, that's in the past, and I've left it all behind long ago. Now I make an honest living, bringing joy to children through my most excellent and revolutionary finger puppet theater. And on that note, I must beg your pardon, young miss. The show is about to begin.
Can we please talk again afterwards? I have some more questions.
Sure. Absolutely. After the show. Yes. Toodaloo.
Yes, here we go. This is gonna be so good.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans and... well, humans. And you, Azadi soldier standing over there, you're welcome to watch, just don't rattle your sabers or rustle your suits. Welcome to this morning's performance of... The Fingerlings. I am your host and puppeteer, Roper Clax, esteemed thespian and raconteur, author and entrepreneur. My book is available for purchase with a free personalized dedication. Speak to me after the show. A donation is both appreciated and expected. Drop your coins into the box after the show. Remember that every iron piece goes towards a good purpose.
Woohoo! Go Fingerlings!
My beloved Fingerlings, handcrafted reproductions of renowned actors from across Arcadia, immortalized in finger puppet form by skilled artisans. Using only the finest fabrics and natural materials, these lovely creatures are as dear to me as children, and as talented and protean as the finest human players. You're all welcome to approach the stage after the show, of course, to admire my finely crafted miniatures up close and intimately. No food, no touching, no children. And now, beloved audience, prepare yourselves for a journey into mystery, for a true story of wizardry and magic. I present to you the tale of the good-hearted wizard and the villainous winch. Once upon a time, in the distant north, there lived a kindly old wizard in a wonderful flying castle. This very friendly wizard liked to tease and toy with the people of the land, and sometimes he would do silly things like turn them into stone or furry animals and bottle up the wind. Naturally, he meant no harm, and the people of the land loved the wizard like they would a grandfather, a very young and very, very handsome grandfather. But one day, an evil sorceress from a distant land came to visit the kindly wizard. This ugly, selfish witch didn't understand that the wizard was only trying to make people happy. She used her dark sorcery to steal steal all of his possessions and trap him inside a tiny little box where the gentle wizard was barely able to breathe. The poor old man was trapped for many moons inside this box before a benevolent wandering god arrived to free him from his prison. The wizard pledged eternal allegiance to the wandering god in return for vengeance against the cruel witch who trapped him. Together they...
There he is, Commander. The dangerous loon who's corrupting our youth with his occult finger rings.
What? What's this? What are you doing? What's going on? You can't... Hey! Hey! Hands off!
You're teaching children of magic, old man. You ought to know better.
Release me, you dishonorable brute!
By the authority vested in me by the Greater Azadi Empire and the Emissary, and in accordance with provisional imperial law prohibiting any and all teachings of occult magic, I'm taking you into custody.
You can't do this! You don't know who I am!
Tell it to the magistrate, wizard.
My fingerlings! My precious handcrafted fingerlings! No!
I cannot believe that they arrested him. What a travesty.
I didn't see that coming.
I guess the Azadi aren't fans of creepy puppet shows either.
I think it had more to do with him being a wizard. Okay, shit. So what now? He was my only lead to the Soul Stone. All I have to go on is something about a Yaga and Riverwood.
Riverwood? I know Riverwood. I've been to Riverwood. If it's Riverwood you need, I know how to get to Riverwood.
Really? And the Yaga? The Wicker Witch?
I don't know anything about Yagas, but I do know something about witches in Riverwood. On my last trip there, we had a close encounter with one of them. That witch is toast, of course, but I can probably find my way back to Riverwood. It's north. We go north. Wait, which way is up? Yeah, north.
Okay. Okay. That's something, right? Much better than nothing. We just need a way to get north that doesn't involve me walking all the way.
Or me flying. I'm not flying all that way. I tire easily. Wait. I feel a cunning plan coming on. Follow me, Zoe.
Uh-oh.
It's either a cunning plan, or I need the toilet. But I'm pretty sure it's a cunning plan.
I still can't believe you pulled off the voice and the whole fake hand thing.
The hat looked great on you.
Totally. Not so sure about the beard, though. My face is itchy. Speaking of faces, I can never show mine in Mercuria again. Not after that last bit we did.
If everything goes well, you won't have to.
At least we have a ride. Can I trust this thing?
They're docile cows, the Elguan. Just leave it to me. Mush, Daisy! Mush!
Whoa, I think you're upsetting her.
I'll leave the cowgirling to you. I'll fly ahead and scout the terrain instead. Don't lose sight of me!
How much longer will this journey take? Must be nearly a week now.
It's been less than 2 days, and I'm beginning to regret bringing you along.
You're stuck in the cargo hold of a cloud ship with your worst enemy. How could you possibly have any regrets?
And people say you have no sense of humor. If there was ever a time to make peace with Likho, this is likely it. Maybe there's still a chance to create a bond between us. I'm sorry about your father. I know that may not amount to much now, but I was a different person then. I was blind to the possibility that there could be more than one truth. There's been so much death on the road to this place. I murdered an innocent man during my escape from Friar's Keep. He begged me to, but I still don't know if I did the right thing. When I visited his widow, she only had hate for me. She couldn't understand my reasons for doing what I did. I ran Balsebakim through and watched him bleed to death so that I could make my escape through a blood magic portal. I still wonder if his sacrifice was worth it. Have I repaid that debt? Shepard believes so, but many thought him a better man than I, so why did he have to die? I've tortured men for information. What did I gain from these actions? What did it change? What would have been different had I acted differently? All of these choices, Likho, they add up. My soul is heavy. The others believe me unaffected because I carry on as if nothing happened. But their faces and voices are there when I close my eyes. Those deaths never leave me. No words can undo these deeds. There are no excuses for the wrongs I've committed. But I am trying to heal the wounds I've inflicted. It's a long journey, Likho, and...
I know. When you arrived from Friar's Keep, I wanted you dead.
Really? I couldn't tell.
And people say you have no sense of humor.
They do?
We've been through much since then. I believe I know you. A little. You've taken up arms against your own people, risking shame, death, and your immortal soul, because you believe they're misguided. It cannot be easy being hated and feared by both sides. I may still despise you because you murdered my father. I may still dislike you because you're an arrogant and intolerant shit. But I respect you, Kian, and I trust you.
Intolerant shit.
Too harsh?
You may have a point.
Anyway, I'm exhausted. All this male camaraderie takes its toll. Keep to your side of the hold, or I may accidentally stab you in my sleep.
Well, that's a new chapter look right there.
Oh!
Ouch.
Well, fuck. Oh, I mean, that hurt.
Never trust an Elguan, cowardly cows.
Oh, something must have spooked it. What do we do now?
This place looks familiar. I think we're close. In fact, I think we're...
Leave! Go, or I'll call the others!
Whoa, hey there, I'm friendly and unarmed.
You're human. You can't be Bird? Crowbird?
Hello. Hey, you're that fretful furry thing we met the first time we came through here. Ben Franklin.
Ben Bandu. This isn't the same human who accompanied you last time.
This is my new human. She's mostly harmless. Say hello, Zoe. Don't be rude.
I guess... Hello? Hello?
Hello. Are you the new Bandu Mbata?
Bamboo... what? No, I have no idea. I'm Zoe.
You're a dreamer.
So they keep saying. I'm not very good at it. How did you know?
We live close to the dreaming here. Her dreams surround us. The Yaga.
That's it! That's the one we're looking for, right, Zoe? The Yaga.
You're looking for the Yaga? On purpose? Are you mad?
Oh, I'm not. Her, I'm not so sure about.
You know the Yaga?
She lives in this forest. We do not speak her name. She's mean.
Teddy Bear probably knows more about the Yaga. Who is she?
The Yaga? She's old. Really old. She's been around since long before my people came to this forest. Once, she had many servants. Witches, warlocks, evil ones. Like in the stories told by the elders. But her servants are all gone now. So she woke up and crossed into our world. She doesn't belong here. But she's lonely and hungry.
Hungry. Great. Well, we still have to find her. She has the Soul Stone.
The Soul Stone? I've heard of the Soul Stone. The Yaga took it from the fallen fortress of her warlock.
Warlock? Roper Clax worked for the Yaga?
They all did. The Gribbler, Clax, all the evil witches and warlocks of the Northlands. But they're gone now. Just like my people. April Ryan imprisoned the warlock and killed the witch. She saved us all. But then the Azadi came with sharp blades and metal tubes that spewed fire. They murdered most of us. Some fled east. I'm the only one left here now.
That's terrible. I'm so sorry.
One day, they'll come back. All the surviving Banda. Until then, I watch over their burrows. And I sing. For them. For all of us. This Soul Stone, it's important?
Very.
You'll use it to fight the Azadi?
That's part of it, yes.
I'll take you to the Yaga. Or as close as I dare go to her lair, anyway.
Great! I was expecting you to say no, and by expecting, I mean hoping.
Does the bird always speak like that?
I'm afraid so. Lead the way, Ben.
The Yaga's beyond the ridge. Once you cross that, you're in her realm.
You're not coming with?
Did you not hear me when I said she was hungry? No, I'm not coming with you. The walls of that place are thin, and she can smell my magic.
A wise decision, tiny man. Come on, Zoe, let's turn around and head back with Ben Ben. Maybe catch a fat squirrel and roast it for dinner?
This is what we came here for. If we don't get the Soul Stone...
Everyone dies, the world ends, no more Christmases, blah, blah, blah. I'm so sick of walking into one perilous scenario after the other. After we're done with this one, no more adventures. I swear to the feather gods of old.
You'll know you're there when you see the Gribbler's old house. She was the witch who lived here before. The Gribbler served the Yaga, and that's where she came through. From the beyond.
Will you wait for us, Ben?
I'll wait until nightfall. But if you're not back by then...
We'll be back.
And I had such a craving for crispy squirrel.
Well, it's good to know that the mole was not correct in her thinking that all of the Banda were dead, because Ben Bandu says that while most of them did perish, some of them escaped to the east and will come back one day. Also, it seems that there was more in Roper Clax's story than we first thought. Ever since the first game, he's always come off as being a bit of a goof. But he may have more of a role to play, it seems, in the overall scheme of things. Lastly, we had a choice for Kian is to either to get serious, in other words, to possibly start a romance with Likho, or to make light of it. I think if I had done a playthrough where Likho had spent more time with Kian instead of avoiding him all the time, I think I might have gone with the romance track because I think it would make more sense that way. But given that I ended up choosing to hang out with Inu instead, I just didn't quite think it was really made as much sense for this particular playthrough. But of course, if you'd like to see some of the alternative lines with Likho and Kian being much closer and then potentially having a romance with one another, then that's something that I would strongly encourage you to look up other Let's Plays that have done that particular run-through.
That's a not at all reassuring shade of black. And what are those swirling things? Giant tadpoles? I don't want to know. Even the plants down there look like dead hands wiggling their cold, dead fingers. Welcome to nature. Prepare to be terrified. They've got that whole normal things that should look quaint and safe except they look horrifically scary thing down to a fine art.
We are on our way to the Gribbler's old place, which again we have not seen since the very first game. Alright, before we move on though, I'd like to check out some of the new character profiles we have. So let's see. We have Brian Westhouse, looks like. Brian Westhouse has lived in Arcadia for decades, but he was born in Boston in 1902. In 1934, Westhouse attempted to travel across the divide between the twin worlds of Stark and Arcadia. But something happened to him. He was stuck, in his own words, between worlds for a while, only emerging into Arcadia hundreds of years later. Realizing he might never be able to return to his own world, he made a life for himself there. Westhouse met and advised April Ryan on her first shift to Arcadia, and a decade later he bumped into Zoe Castillo on her first visit. He helped both women understand and cope with the reality of a magical world and assisted them on their adventures. A born traveler, Westhouse spent most of his life exploring worlds. He's seen much of Arcadia, and he's even been inside the Azadi Empire, a place few Northlanders have visited, and fewer still have returned from. Westhouse was last seen in the Dark People's City a year ago. Indeed he was. So now Roper Klacks. Roper Klacks was once a self-proclaimed evil wizard and dark alchemist who lived in a floating castle north of Riverwood. On her long journey across Arcadia to save the balance, April Ryan confronted Klacks to free the wind he'd captured. To defeat him, she trapped Klacks inside a calculator. After breaking out of his mathematical prison, Klacks was apparently a reformed man, leaving evil wizardry behind to become a best-selling author, potions maker, and showman, and, he claimed, he harbored no ill will towards April. According to his autobiography, as a child, Klacks was his neighborhood's hopscotch champion 3 years running. He studied at the Alchemists' Academy, where he was a member of the Tic-Tac-Toe Club, graduating with dishonors. His secret passions are spelling and cooking. He surely harbors no dark secrets, none whatsoever. Indeed. Lastly, we have Ben Bandhu. 10 years ago, Ben Bandhu, a young Banda, a species derogatively called the Mole People by some humans, met April Ryan when she was traveling through Riverwood. April helped free Ben's brother from captivity by defeating the Gribbler, a terrifying forest witch in service of a greater darkness. Through her selfless act, she earned herself a place of honor in the Banda tribe. Ben Bandhu is still indebted to April, and he'd like nothing more than to repay her kindness and help her friends. It's good to know Ben Bandhu is still alive. He's a very gentle soul. Okay. So I think with that, we're going to end this recording session here, and when we come back, we will have Zoe confront whatever this thing is that's called the Yaga. So until next time, fellow adventurers, take care.